हमारे यहाँ पाकिस्तान में बहुत आदत है, हम कहते थे ओ बैरूनी साजिश है, उसने ये किया उसने ये किया. नो, वी आर द प्रॉब्लम, वी क्रिएटेड इट एंड वी नीड टू एक्सेप्ट दिस. यार इन्होंने अपना मुल्क बेचा कितना अच्छा है. जब मराकेश पहुंचा था एंड एवरीथिंग, आई फील लाइक हम लाइक होता है ना देसी आई कांटेक्ट बनाते हैं, तो लाइक मैं और एक और देसी लोग थे, लाइक लिटरली जस्ट मेड आई कांटेक्ट. हमने उर्दू में शुरू किया, भाई यहाँ है क्या देखने को. मैं कहा यही है. So I used a Hassan Rahim song in the background because I really liked it. Peanut butter था, ठीक है. That song had more views on my page than on Hassan Rahim's page.
Wow.
So it had like a 1.1 million. That video had it. Hassan Rahim ke I think 2.5 lakh. So I mean Hassan Rahim just this person's gone. Like people are not even giving resignations in. It's like they don't even want the reference.
So the Americans have branded this the silent resignation.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
कि वो basically बंदा just ghosts.
Just ghosts.
And disappears.
हर बंदे को हाँ बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं. Even if the money is good, it's fine. You don't need to do it. आपको और अच्छा काम मिलेगा. If you've established yourself in the space, then people will come to you. You don't have to be like, oh, this is my last option. यही करना है. If it just does not align with your personality and your, what's the point of doing it just for the money?
Hello and welcome everyone to DigiTales. My name is Faizan Sayyed, founder and CEO of East River, and today I have with me a doctor, Dr. Bilal Hassan. But you probably don't know who Dr. Bilal Hassan is, but you definitely know who Mystapaki is. His videos have been everywhere. He's been creating content that has caught us by storm, and I want to talk to him about how and why he pulled this off. How are you, Mr. Paki?
I'm good. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम. तो मैं डॉक्टर बोलूँ, मिस्टर पाकी बोलूँ, क्योंकि मैं डॉक्टर एक्सपेक्ट कर नहीं रहा था वैसे.
मुझे भी आदत नहीं होती ज़्यादा, कि ज़्यादा लोग मुझे मिस्टर पाकी से ही बुलाते हैं. सो कहीं तो हम डॉक्टर में कहा किसको बुला रहे हैं. हाँ मैं वो. It's me.
So basically alter ego and the ego have become one.
It's become one.
लेकिन and you are a doctor working at Indus Hospital.
Yes.
You studied at Ziauddin.
Correct.
लेकिन अब जो है पूरी आपका जो प्रोफाइल और आइडेंटिटी है वो मिस्टर पाकी है.
Correct.
और मैं एक चीज़ बताना चाहूँगा, आपका मैं कंटेंट देख रहा था ना, I saw the 24 hours in Karachi.
Yes.
And when you started with the beach.
Yes.
And you went from the beach to Alamgir Hotel. मैंने कहा यार ये बंदा ठीक है. He knows his Karachi.
He's legit.
He's legit. You know, because अगर आप अपना दिन आलमगीर होटल की चाय से शुरू करेंगे तो आप दुनिया की सारी स्टारबक्स पहुंच जाएंगे.
Yes.
जो you know, I mean जिस तरह से वो जगह आती है सुबह या रात में.
Yeah.
I have never come across a chai, and this is not even a sponsored ad.
No, 100%. Alamgir, where are you?
You should sponsor us.
I know the amount of business I've given them.
So what, I mean, you mentioned you've been doing blogging for about 3-4 years.
Yes, correct.
लेकिन ये जो videos ने एकदम virality पकड़ी है वो अभी recently पकड़ी है.
Correct.
What changed? What do you think changed in the last 6-8 months?
Content changed a bit. I was making content काफ़ी दिन से, like I said, like you said, 3-4 years. I started my page mainly out of frustration. Because
Frustration of what?
How Pakistan is, but also how Pakistan was perceived in the outside world. I'll elaborate. Basically, because I travel quite a bit,
right.
And whenever I meet people from abroad, their impression of Pakistan is very like the cliche terrorism, and that's what they see us us nazariye se from that lens.
So your perception of Pakistan, you're saying कि you were mentioning when you travel.
Yeah.
कि बाहर जाके लोगों का एक view है पाकिस्तान का.
एक ही नज़रिया है, and I don't blame them because that's what they've seen in the media.
That's what's projected.
That's what's projected. I'm not saying कि
सही है या
ये सही है गलत है. Because what they know about Pakistan is okay, the terror attacks, you know about Malala. And I'm not saying that did not happen. Of course, that is a side of Pakistan also. To say that none of this happened would be erasure. So like, I don't believe in history का erasure and all that stuff. वो भी एक नज़रिया है पाकिस्तान का, unfortunately. But Pakistan is not black and white. Pakistan is grey. बहुत ग्रे है. पूरी दुनिया ग्रे है.
लेकिन हम दूसरे मुल्कों को ग्रे दिखा सकते हैं, पाकिस्तान को हम ब्लैक या वाइट दिखाते हैं.
Absolutely. And
और इसकी क्या वजह है?
I'd say because how we sell ourselves. That's basically it.
So we're not good marketeers.
We're very bad marketers. Horrible, I'd say, because another story which I'll tell later on is when I went to Morocco, my phone got stolen over there, and मैं police station गया था report करने के लिए उसे. And the first thing that happened was like he asked me, he's like, आप किधर से? Where are you from? I know a little bit of Arabic and everything, so I was like, I'm from Pakistan. और उसने कहा, oh, Pakistan, Osama bin Laden, boom. That's the first thing he said to me. Point being, that's our impression. यही हमारा है. And मोरक्को तो बहुत दूर मुल्क है. 2 मिनट बाद उसने फिर मुस्लिम ब्रदर कंट्री मुझसे करा वो सारा बड़ा से हो गया, मैं मूड खराब हो गया मेरा सारा. So we're terrible at this and I feel like
और इसी का मैं काउंटर देता हूँ. मैं अभी लास्ट वीक साउथ अफ्रीका गया पहली दफ़ा, राइट. आई वेंट टू केप टाउन और मैं पूरी दुनिया से सुना केप टाउन इज ब्यूटीफुल, इतनी अच्छी जगह है, यू कैन रिटायर देयर, फलाना फलाना फलाना. The minute I land there, just don't walk alone at night, huh? Even though we're in the downtown area and it's like you're staying in a convention center hotel, just don't walk alone at night. Then we were staying with some friends. They're like, oh, listen, I need to walk back to my hotel. Can you walk me back? I said, why? They're like, yeah, everyone's saying at the hotel that you shouldn't walk alone at night. Next day, it turns out the people who did walk alone at night, 3 people from our entire convention, they had their phones stolen. No guns. No like knives, but just वो धक्के देते हुए फोन लेते हुए चले गए. मैंने कहा ये तो कराची है.
बिल्कुल.
लेकिन इनकी मार्केटिंग कितनी अच्छी है कि हर बंदा यहाँ के कह रहा है कि यार मुझे प्लीज केप टाउन ले जाओ.
फैजान, you hit the nail on the head because यही मोरक्को का है. I hated Morocco, by the way. It was one of my worst trips. Everything about it, not just because मेरा फोन गया, there was so much about it that I just did not like.
Right.
But मैंने कहा यार इन्होंने अपना मुल्क बेचा कितना अच्छा है. I mean, I agree that like हर मुल्कों में मसले हैं एंड एवरीथिंग, बट इट्स अबाउट हाउ यू सेल इट टू द वर्ल्ड. उन्होंने अपना मुल्क ऐसा बेचा है जैसे कि अलादीन टाइप यूटोपिया है.
मैं तो ऐसे ही सोचा था मोरक्को होगा.
सारे लाइक वो जो है ना कोई वो,
मैं तो समझा कि कालीन में फ्लोट करते हुए हम लैंड करेंगे.
बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं है. मैं तो इनफैक्ट जब मराकेश पहुंचा था एंड एवरीथिंग, आई फील लाइक हम लाइक होता है ना देसी आई कांटेक्ट बनाते हैं. तो लाइक मैं और एक और देसी लोग थे, लाइक लिटरली जस्ट मेड आई कांटेक्ट. हमने अपना देसी रेडार एक दूसरे को पढ़ लिया था. आके उन्होंने डायरेक्ट उर्दू में शुरू किया, भाई यहाँ है क्या देखने को? मैं कहा यही है. इट्स लिटरली एम्प्रेस मार्केट और कुछ नहीं है वहाँ लिटरली वो बाजार है, स्कैम चल रहे हैं. आओ हैना टैटू करा लो, ये मसाले हैं, वही गलियाँ. एंड आई वाज लाइक वाओ व्हाट.
लेकिन उन्होंने बेचा कैसे?
उन्होंने ऐसा बेचा है कि एंड दे आर वेरी गुड एट इट. And साथ में there is a language barrier because French and Arabic and everything, and they use that to scam you. So
लेकिन हम क्यों नहीं बेच पा रहे?
I don't know why, but there's a lot to do at the government level because हमारी बेचारी government, I don't blame them because they're just busy in so many other things like.
Busy हैं या busy रखा गया उनको?
Busy रखा गया है, busy हैं. But point
you made a video and मैं मतलब एक तरफ हम अभी बात कर रहे हैं positive marketing की. You just made a video about the 75 years in which you can destroy a country.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But that goes against what you're saying कि हम here you are making a video that is negative marketing in a sense.
That is, I mean, a lot of people would say it's negative marketing, but it's also like a reality check because right now where Pakistan is going through right now is like we need to question why we are here. यहाँ लोगों के लिए बहुत आसान है blame करना, ये फलाना पार्टी या फलाना इंस्टीट्यूशन ने करा है and everything. It's not. It just did not happen overnight, and I feel like as Pakistanis हम लोगों को जो है ना सोल सर्चिंग करने की ज़रूरत है.
हम कर लेंगे, लेकिन उसका फ़ायदा क्या है?
उसका फ़ायदा ये है कि कम से कम वी विल हैव आंसर्स टू दिस एंड वी विल स्टॉप ब्लेमिंग एक चीज़ इन एक और इंस्टीट्यूशन को rather than we will start looking at a global perspective. मे बी मैं चेंज नहीं करूँगा, मगर मे बी जो अगली जनरेशन आएगी एटलीस्ट दे विल स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट इट. वी विल एक्नॉलेज द प्रॉब्लम. हम तो प्रॉब्लम एक्नॉलेज ही नहीं करते, हम कहते हैं ही नहीं, कोई प्रॉब्लम है ही नहीं. ठीक. आई फील लाइक जैसे जब भी कोई होता है ना लाइक someone goes through grief या trauma, तो हम कहते हैं 5 stages of grief होते हैं. You go through all of it, denial, anger and everything. I feel like पाकिस्तानी denial में ही रहते हैं. We don't go through acceptance पे. We have to come to acceptance. जब तक acceptance नहीं आएगी ये कुछ भी नहीं बदलेगा. मुझे कोई बदलने से कोई वो उम्मीद नहीं है, but I would like people to start accepting things. हमारे यहाँ पाकिस्तान में बहुत आदत है, हम कहते थे ओ बैरूनी साजिश है, उसने ये किया. No, we are the problem. We created it and we need to accept this.
And when you said in that video, you said it was founded on a lie, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
What was that lie?
There's a lot of lies. हमारे पाकिस्तान में होता है, हम लोगों को enemy बना देते हैं. हम जैसे लोगों को कह देते हैं कि
वो जॉर्ज बुश ने जो कहा, either you're with me or against me.
Yes, exactly. And we create enemies. We create enemies along religious lines, along ethnic lines, and हम कह देते हैं ये हमारे दुश्मन.
But that, if you think about it, right, our colonial masters are the ones who taught us that.
Of course that, and we just continued it on.
We've had this thinking for 500 years because that's the only way they ran this
Absolutely.
subcontinent.
And unfortunately, we've been doing the same thing from 75 years. We just lie. और इतना झूठ बोलते हैं कि a lot of people believe it. And unfortunately, अगर मैं बात करूँ, एक generation हमारा इतना gap है कि between my generation, which grew up with the internet, and then my parents, and इतना gap है in the way they think, and they have drank the Kool-Aid. उन्होंने पूरा Kool-Aid पी लिया है.
तो पर्ज कैसे करें उनके अंदर से? और हम भी अच्छा, और हमारा
मुझे कोई
जनरेशन
उम्मीद नहीं है, मुझे उनसे कोई उम्मीद नहीं है.
हम जो हैं, हमारे जनरेशन आपके और उनके बीच में फंसे हुए हैं.
आप बिल्कुल
हम जो हैं समझ गए हैं कि आप लोग क्या समझना चाहते हैं, and where you want to take this.
Yes.
लेकिन हम उनको समझा नहीं पा रहे.
आप नहीं समझा पा रहे और हम फ्रस्ट्रेट हो रहे हैं.
और इसके साथ साथ वो they're not willing to let go to allow us to come in and make the necessary changes because we get what you want.
Of course, and problem is that generation is running this country based on lies, all of it.
So we wait till they die. But some of us will die in the process also, right?
I mean that's like I said.
So then it's on you guys, and basically the generation that my kids will have with you guys as leaders.
Exactly. Like I don't have any hope in that generation. साफ सी बात है. मुझे
So Pakistan for you is a write-off for the next 20 years.
मुझे कोई boomer generation में कोई उम्मीद नहीं है. मेरा एटलीस्ट जो उम्मीद ये है कि एटलीस्ट मैं जो नीचे जो जनरेशन है मुझसे या मेरी जनरेशन, एटलीस्ट वी कैन ट्राई टू.
तो अगर उनसे उम्मीद नहीं है, राइट, और ये बड़ी एक थोड़ी सी डिप्रेसिंग बात है, क्योंकि अगर उनसे उम्मीद नहीं है और वो अगले 10 साल they'll try to hold on to what they have, right?
They are already trying to hold on.
Let's say they're in their 60s, the early 70s, उनके अंदर 10 साल की एक वो है जज्बा, स्पिरिट और पावर जो है आपको एक्स्ट्रा थोड़ा लाइफ दे देता है. तो अगले 10 साल तो राइट ऑफ हैं. तो जो अभी ग्रेजुएट कर रहा है, there's no sense in them staying in this country from the age of 22 to 32 because it's a write-off.
I think about it differently in the sense, yes, if I look at it on a global perspective, मुल्क में economically, politically, it is a mess. It is an absolute catastrophe right now.
But other states are in similar messes as well, right? Syria went through something, Iraq went through something, Sri Lanka went through something. The UK is going through a major shift for a developed country. Like,
but does that mean you leave it? I know everyone has their choices and they have to make choice, and I don't judge them for it. At the same time, it is also, if you want to work right now over here, it's also a very good time.
But no one's paying on time. You're not getting salaries that are commensurate to the devaluation.
Like I would say from where I work,
medicine doctors are always in demand. Yeah.
Medicine I am also a content creator. I also work in journalism.
So content creation, I think, will always pay.
It will always pay.
Medicine, it
doesn't pay well. I will be very honest about it.
Well, I have a different view.
But it is...
I've seen how medicine can help you build a successful business.
Yes.
And it can work.
Yes.
If you do it right.
Medicine for me now has come to a point where I feel like it gives... It probably does not support me monetarily because it just does not pay that well. But medicine gives me a lot of respect, and people will see me very differently as a content creator. They don't just see me ke, oh, he's just a content creator.
So he's a respected...
They would say respected, padha likha.
So it's feeding your self-esteem.
It is feeding, not just feeding my self-esteem, but it's also, they see you very differently. And I've noticed that.
How do they see you? If you're let's say a trainer, if you're a professional, whether engineer, doctor, lawyer, architect, I mean, what you're saying is essentially someone who's been through academic training.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
And
versus a standard like content creator who just blew up.
Exactly.
How are people viewing you differently?
It's then you get a lot of padha likha work also. They will not ask.
So then when you do content on the 75 years of Pakistan's history, now that I know you're a doctor, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll buy it.
They'll be like, exactly. Then they take you seriously. Banisbat ke, and then from this on the side, I also write. I also do journalism also.
Right.
So I guess it's because of the doctor aspect of it where it's opened up all these other frontiers for me.
So you're saying that someone in your age group then needs to think about the future from a different lens, not from the lens of their boomer parents.
No, exactly.
Like
and my boomer parents they don't understand what I do. And I don't blame them because unko bahut...
When they watch your videos, what do they say?
They don't understand. I mean, they now do because it's kind of sweet, because now when we go out, then people recognize me. then they're like, कुछ कर ही रहा होगा, कुछ कर ही रहा होगा.
So they needed someone on the outside to validate.
Oh yes, of course. I'll tell you one thing. We went out for dinner once recently, like and my parents and I and there was this football World Cup हुआ था Liari पे, so I made a video when it went pretty viral. And so like the bill pay करने का time आया था and everything, and they're like, oh, someone on the other table already paid for it, and he'd written a message. He's like, oh, Mystapaki, love your work, keep up the great work and everything. And my parents were there also, and they're like, कौन है तुम्हारा कोई एडमायरर? मैंने कहा
मेरे काम का एडमायरर.
मेरी अम्मी तो फॉरेन जो है ना, शादी कर लो, शादी कर, लड़की है क्या, ठीक है. I was like, no, I was like, maybe probably like my, and then it feels really humbling that you're like, oh wow, okay,
that's
thanks.
good, that's amazing.
So I mean, and then sort of you get validated from your parents indirectly that way. घर में तो नहीं मिलती कुछ.
ये भी एक और challenge है हमारा. लेकिन इसमें you created the content, ठीक है, you're putting out sort of content that's thought provoking and makes the audience think कि यार हम यहाँ कैसे पहुँचे. But at the same time, you're also putting out content saying that the younger audience, the younger generation is different. I mean, you're talking about the kind of music that they're creating. You're talking about, you're highlighting cinema. You highlighted one movie. 15 साल में एक अच्छी मूवी बनी है. That doesn't mean cinema's revived. दो highlighted थी. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं cinema revive हो गया. हाँ, लेकिन marketing सही है.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है. अगर हम 2 bomb blast को highlight करके कह सकते हैं पूरा मुल्क खराब है, तो हम 2 movies highlight करके कह सकते हैं बहुत अच्छा industry है.
This comes back to our earlier discussion. It's how you sell your country. ठीक है. And I feel like अगर ये 2 भी अच्छी चीजें थी ना, why not we talk about it?
नहीं, उसमें ये होता है ना कि यार इन्होंने कैसे पैसे बना लिए, इनका इतना अच्छा कैसे हो गया, इन्होंने कुछ केड़ा काम किया होगा.
It was literally 2 movies and 1 song. There is not much more there.
But that's all you need. Apple had one product. It was what was it? The iPod.
Absolutely.
That's it. One product that turned that company around into what it is today.
And I will take credit for this. Hassan Rahim, if you're listening, ठीक है. So I used a Hassan Rahim song in the background because I really liked it. Peanut butter था, ठीक है. That song had more views on my page than on Hassan Rahim's page.
Wow.
So it had like a 1.1 million. That video had it. Hassan Rahim के I think 2.5 lakh. So I mean, Hassan Rahim just. अगर थोड़े views आए हैं, I think I deserve some credit over here.
You should do a collab with him. But here's the thing, right? I mean, on one hand, you're saying that your generation is on a completely different frequency. Yes, than the ones running this place.
Yeah.
Lekin your generation is also going out and creating things and doing things that are completely different.
Of course.
ठीक है? Then at the same time, you're also saying there's no space for women in the society because you created some content around how there's no women visible on the streets and public spaces, and 25% or less are in the workforce and so on. If you're saying that this is an environment controlled by people who don't understand you, that don't support the kind of gender equality that you all believe in, then why would you stay around in this place regardless of the difference that you can create? Because it's easier to leave.
It is easier to leave, but if you're leaving, then you're letting that generation win. हम थोड़े जज्बाती भी हैं ना, and impractical.
It's not a fight. It's not your fight.
I know it is not my fight, but just if I leave, then you make a lot of people lose hope. And there's so many. Also another.
So they should leave too.
Another thing, Faizan, it is your home. It is your own language. अपने लोग हैं.
Home is where the heart is.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता.
ये फिर saying क्यों है ये?
And when you leave your entire roots. I had the whole opportunity to leave. I didn't leave, and I still, despite what we're going through, और बिजली बीच में गई थी, I still do genuinely want to stay because I feel like with even the little that I'm doing, I feel like I'm making a little change over here. And I feel like a lot of women even, उनको भी पता है कि हाँ, Pakistan is not very welcoming to women, but a lot of them do want to stay because I feel like...
It is not welcoming. You just saw the video that went viral in the last 24 hours of that woman throwing her dupatta down and then...
It is not, but
लेकिन ये चीज़ तो हर जगह होती है यार.
मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूँ.
जहाँ भी violence है,
मैं अभी गया
civil unrest हो.
मैं मैक्सिको सिटी गया था, and अभी like 2-3 महीने पहले.
वो भी कराची जैसा ही है.
बिल्कुल कराची था.
लेकिन उसकी ब्रांडिंग अच्छी है.
100%.
बल्कि it's more violent. Sorry. It's more violent than Karachi.
मैं आपको बताता हूँ, तो वहाँ था coincidentally when I landed there, there was International Women's Day. I think 8th March या 9th March को होता है. उसके एक दिन बाद था while I was there. मैंने साइट सीइंग करना भूल गया था. मैं तो ऐसे दोस्तों से फिर रहा था, खाने वाने खा रहा था. मैंने कहा टाको चूरो. तो मैं फिर आखिरी दिन मुझे कुछ ख्याल है, मैं को कुछ देख लेना चाहिए मुझे. I haven't seen anything.
Right.
And coincidentally the day I was supposed to leave. It was Women's Day. And मुझे एक बंदे ने रुक के बताया, he's like, don't go sightseeing today. मैंने कहा क्यों? कह रहे थे, कहते पिट जाओगे, तुम आदमी हो. तो क्या कह रहे थे, यहाँ हम जो women होती हैं, it's like a huge march होती है on International Women's Day. And it was pretty glaring in the sense because वहाँ तो it's like वो सड़कों के ऊपर वहाँ लगा देते हैं, ये इसका फेसबुक आईडी है, ये इसका इंस्टाग्राम आईडी है, ये इसका नंबर है, ये पोस्टर्स 1000 पूरे शेयर. और उन्होंने कहा तुम आदमी हो, तुम पिटोगे, डू नॉट इवन गो ओवर देयर, तुम पिटोगे. ठीक है. तो खैर मैंने कहा नहीं, मुझे साइट सीइंग करनी है, मुझे तो साइट सीइंग करनी है. ठीक है. मैं ऐसे ही चले गया. एवरीथिंग. ओह, मुझे तो जो घूरियां मिली हैं वहाँ से. अच्छा, फिर साथ में राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी देयर वाज लाइक क्लैशेस बिटवीन द पुलिस एंड द वुमेन प्रोटेस्टिंग. साथ में टायर वायर भी चल रहे हैं. मैंने कहा तो मैं कराची आ गया हूँ. बिल्कुल मैं कराची आ गया हूँ. एंड बट पॉइंट बीइंग, उन्होंने अपने आप को मार्केट किया हुआ है ना, ऐसे समब्रेरो, टेकीला, टाकोस वाली बात है. उन्होंने बड़ा अच्छा अपने आप को मार्केट किया. लाइक एंड वी आर सो लाइक वी हैव सो मच गोइंग गुड फॉर अस.
यार इसमें आई थिंक इसमें मेरा एक व्यू है. सो आई हैड अ सिमिलर एक्सपीरियंस इन बेरूत. जब वो उनके यहाँ प्रोटेस्ट शुरू होते हैं अक्टूबर 2019 में, right? Literally the day the protest, we were there in the city and outside the hotel the protesters came and burnt tires. हम तो मतलब immediately the Karachi mindset कि अब firing होगी, कुछ फट जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, मतलब गोली लग जाएगी, right? लेकिन after a while we saw कि protesters ने music on किया और डांस कर रहे हैं टायर्स के साथ. तो हमने कॉन्फ्रेंस पे थे, कुछ हिम्मत करके we went down to the protesters and said what's up, क्या हुआ. So पता चला कि they explained to us what the issues were. They're like, come dance with us. This was a huge street party that lasted for the next 2 weeks. Obviously the country went through significant change since then. Lekin the protesting was not violent. It was not, okay, it was protesting. They were burning tires, but कोई मार धाड़ नहीं था, कोई guns, एक weapon नहीं नजर आया. And it was just the people out on the street saying, यार ये ज्यादती हमारे साथ ना करो. ठीक है. हमारे यहाँ जो प्रॉब्लम होती है,
I agree with this.
हमारे यहाँ जो प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि हमारी अफगान वॉर की हिस्ट्री है और किसी और मुल्क ने कहा कि इनको इस्तेमाल करो मजहब लेके और अपनी जंग लड़ दो. हमारी जो वेपनाइजेशन ऑफ हमारी कंट्री है ना, ने हमें मार डाला है.
Yes, of course.
और हम डीवेपनाइज ना कर सकते हैं, ना करने के लिए हम जुर्रत रखते हैं. जो हमारी बूमर जनरेशन है.
बूमर जनरेशन एंड दे आर वेरी.
So that's where the negative marketing in my view comes in.
It does. And वो बूमर जनरेशन का हर चीज का सोल्यूशन मार दो, तोड़ दो. Like even yesterday बकायदा मुझे पैनिक अटैक हो गया था because I saw someone वो KFC पे जा रहे थे, बदर वाला. मैंने कहा खबरदार जो किसी ने KFC को जलाया. KFC बेकसूर है, डू नॉट ब्रिंग KFC.
यार मुझे आउडी लाहौर को जला दिया, मतलब कि
उसका क्या कसूर था,
किसका ताल्लुक है,
उसने क्या किया है?
अब आप सोचें उस एक इंसिडेंट का रेपरकशन क्या है. अगर कभी भी वोक्सवैगन ग्रुप जो ऑडी को ओन करता है ये सोचे कि यार पाकिस्तान में एक प्लांट लगाते हैं छोटा सा, ठीक है, और हम वो इकोनॉमिकल गाड़ियां बेचते हैं, वो कहेंगे भाई छोड़ दो,
उनका माफ करिए, पागल लोग
प्लीज छोड़ दो, ये लोग खिसके हुए हैं, ये तो जला देते हैं. मतलब हमने तो सिर्फ एक शोरूम भी नहीं, वो तो एक डीलर के थ्रू शोरूम.
एग्जैक्टली. लाइक वो बेचारा जो KFC या मैकडॉनल्ड, उनको अपने दरवाजे के ऊपर पूरा कलमा वलमा लिखना पड़ा था कि प्लीज खुदा के वास्ते इसको मत चलाना.
और यही बाहर वाले दोस्त यही मैसेज करके कह रहे हैं सब खैरियत है, ठीक हो. मैंने कहा नहीं, वो इंटरनेट स्विच ऑफ किया हुआ है 2-4 दिन के लिए तो वो ऑन कर देंगे तो सब ठीक हो जाएगा. मतलब आई थिंक दैट यू सी इट इज वी डू दीज थिंग्स दैट क्रिएट नेगेटिव परसेप्शन, राइट?
It is. And
it's on us, it's our fault.
I do admit it is us. And when I said how to destroy
sorry, it's the boomers fault.
It is जो हमारे ही लोग हैं, unfortunately.
Right, जो हमारे ही लोग हमारे घरों में,
हमारे घरों में. एंड इट्स नॉट जस्ट बूमर्स के, कई बूमर भी होते हैं जिनके घर में वो अपने बच्चों को यही बताते हैं, दैट्स ऑल they've ever heard. Some of them even buy the Kool-Aid. There's so many people in my generation जिनके साथ आप बहस करने लगता है, कहते हैं यार तू कहाँ से आया है, क्या बातें कर रहा है तू.
But how do you, so here's the other question, right? I mean, you highlighted some of the underground culture and some of the content, ठीक है? You're talking about, let's say the right way to market something is using, or a country is using arts.
Yes, of course.
ठीक है? Arts immediately is attention grabbing. तो आप music पे चले जाएं, आप सिनेमा पे चले जाएं, आप actual art पे चले जाएं, आप थिएटर पे चले जाएं. आप एट दिस पॉइंट मैं तो ये भी कहूँगा डिजिटल कंटेंट क्रिएशन पे भी चले जाएं. ठीक है, वो भी मेरे हिसाब से एक फॉर्म ऑफ आर्ट है. इफ यू वर टू बेसिकली क्रिएट कंटेंट एट स्केल, राइट, एंड इट्स लेट्स से दिस यंगर जेन जी और द यंग मिलेनियल्स, ये जो कंटेंट एट स्केल है ये कभी भी बूमर्स का तो माइंड चेंज नहीं करेगा ना. इट माइट चेंज द परसेप्शन ऑफ दोज कमिंग डाउन द रोड इन द फ्यूचर और द यंगर ऑडियंसेस, बट हाउ डू यू सॉल्व फॉर द नेक्स्ट 10 years where there can be significant brain drain where guys like you just say, you know what, I've had it, I'm done, I'm out.
There are a lot of people, a lot. Like abhi aajkal, like I even made a video on one thing was how someone like myself feels at this time, and you're watching one by one people leave, one by one, and it is happening.
It's like, by the way, you know what that is, the way you just said it, my nana lives with me.
Yeah.
And there was a point where he used to be like, अच्छा आज इनका इंतकाल हो गया, अच्छा आज इनका इंतकाल हो गया, आज इनका इंतकाल हो गया. And you're at that age where people start leaving the world.
Yes.
And to experience that at that age, I understand 60s, 70s,
Yes.
80s, right? But to experience it, it's not intikal, but वो तो छोड़ के चले गए.
Like I would consider myself pretty young. I'm in my 30s. Today's my birthday also. So like
Congratulations, happy birthday.
Thank you. So it's very weird because I feel like because हमारे एक बड़ा नज़र का concept है पाकिस्तान में. So कोई and right now everyone is living in the state of paranoia कोई मेरा immigration का plan jinx ना कर दे. So you don't even know if anyone's leaving. Nobody tells you. There's no goodbye. There's no
It's just
closure.
like boom, gone.
जैसे exactly जैसे like आपके जैसे like the older people को तो पता होता है चल यार बेचारा बीमार था उसकी उम्र थी like you have some justification in your head. Nothing, zilch. It's just one fine day you find out through a Facebook check-in ke oh alhamdulillah JFK airport, you're like alhamdulillah Dubai, and you're like, and people are then just congratulating.
So they're saying alhamdulillah
means they got out
and
they got
like,
out
I'm free.
If they said alhamdulillah and they checked into an airport, that means they're free, they got out. This could be nothing more.
Oh my god,
so,
that is
and
so bad.
It's happening so much on scale. Achha, even at work this is what's happening is that अगर कोई बंदा ने 2 से 3 दिन in a row छुट्टी मार लिया ना, फिर like वो भाग गया. This person's gone. Like people are not even giving resignations in. It's like they don't even want the reference.
So there's Americans have branded this the silent resignation.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
कि वो basically बंदा it just ghosts.
Just ghosts.
And disappears. Phone पे जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं, WhatsApp पे जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं.
I'll tell you, and it's very frustrating because I like work in education. So in education के अंदर I also have to coordinate with people like the finance department. I have to coordinate with the media. I have to coordinate with everyone because हर चीज़ के अंदर वो कहीं आ जाता है. It's like entire departments have just run, and it's like भाई तूने ओवर तो नहीं दिया था किसी को जो नया बंदा आ रहा है. Please let them know about like you know like and it's not happening like that. Like people,
so now imagine अब ये what you just said, right? Continuity कहाँ है? अगर लोग इस तरह छोड़ के literally be like boom छोड़ के मैं भाग गया.
yes.
अब business की continuity भी एक चीज़ है ना, disruption, business disruption, which means आपकी service quality गिर गई, which means आपके clients affect हुए,
100%,
which means आपका business affect हुआ.
100%.
अब वो business जब affect होगा आपकी income गिरेगी, which means आप salaries late देंगे या आप कुछ और होगा, और फिर आप बंदा दोबारा कहेगा यार देखो ये तो हालात इतने ख़राब हैं, I should leave.
एंड ये सब मुझे पता है, मगर सामने तो मैं डॉक्टर हूँ और मुझे फिर बार बार कहते हैं मगर आपको तो ह्यूमैनिटी आपको तो करना चाहिए.
आपने तो हिपोक्रेटिक ओथ ली है.
आपने तो हिपोक्रेटिक ओथ लिया. बीबी मैं तुझे क्या बताऊं पीछे क्या चल रहा है. लाइक व्हाट शुड आई टेल यू. लाइक आई वाज लाइक आई विश यू न्यू व्हाट द डंपस्टर फायर. आई वाज लाइक सामने इज लाइक एंड द अदर थिंग इज लाइक हमें बार बार बोलते जाते हैं कि ओ नहीं मगर डॉक्टर ये सारी चीज़ें, डॉक्टर को भी अपना घर चलाना है.
हाँ,
हमें
सही
भी
बात है,
हमारी भी अपनी जिंदगी है. वी ऑल्सो हैव लाइव्स. It is bad right now because like right now left, right, center, and it's like and the weird thing is also people are looking towards you also. They're like तू कब छोड़ रहा है? When is your plan?
So in all of this, again, I try to stay away from politics. Do you think that what you saw in the last 48 hours, the leader of that party and whatever, do you think he's the solution to this mess? Because his workers clearly are adding to the state of malaise that you're saying. I mean, obviously, my leadership की बात नहीं करूँगा.
He is the solution to stopping this. What is happening right now? I do believe in that. Do I agree with his politics? No, I don't. With a lot of things. Then I have issues with a lot of things, and I'm very frank.
But then there are many solutions to stopping this, right? आप किसी को भी ले आएं.
The solution would be if he would actually his party and his people would make a statement and tell people just मार दाओ, ये करना छोड़ो. And दूसरी बात है जो जलाने वाला.
क्या नई statement नहीं दी है? वो तो quietly कह रहे हैं कि हम तो मना कर रहे हैं लोगों को.
हम मना, but you know it's very passive. It's very passive. It's not like official. It's like जब कभी कभार you know like एक कुछ अम्माएं होती जिन्होंने बहुत सारे बच्चे पैदा कर लेती हैं, वैसे मत मारो ना, क्या कर रहे हो ना, और वो बच्चा और चपेट लगा देता है और उसका टॉय उठा लेता है. It's like don't tell your kid man. Like it's like जहाज में भी जैसे अभी था, मैं वापसी पे आ रहा हूँ like literally एक अभी जो फ्लाइट पे आ रहा था मोरक्को से, तो एक खातून थी, आई थिंक उन साथ में सास भी ट्रैवल करी थी, तो उसने उसका दिमाग बंद कर दिया था, बोले जा रही थी तो उस औरत का दिमाग बंद हो गया था. उसका बच्चा लिटरली छलांग मार के मेरी गोद में गिर गया आके. I was like, dude, take care of your kid. She said, मत छलांग मारे ना, क्या कर रहे हैं ना. I was like, इसका दिमाग बंद हो गया. इसका दिमाग, and that's what's happened इस मुल्क में. Like लोगों का दिमाग बंद हो गया. Like they're like, चल रही है जिंदगी, चलते रहे, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है. That kind of thing.
So I'll bring this back to one thing. What you're saying, and I think what we're discussing is at the end of the day, I'm maybe a little bit older, but the younger crew has to think about their future differently.
Of course.
In terms of how they make a living, how they support their lives, and what their purpose is in this country, if they stay.
I 100% agree. I think वो वाला ज़माना चले गया where you do one job 9 to 5. At least if you're staying here. I would encourage younger people to hustle. There's a lot of things to do out there. बहुत है. लोग कहते हैं हम किस तरह मिले. I was like बाहर निकलो तो लोगों से बात तो करो, नेटवर्क तो करो.
वो जो पहला स्टेप है, ये जो बात की है, नेटवर्क करो, बाहर निकलो. अक्सर लोगों को पहला कदम लेने में ही दिक्कत होती है. उस माइंडसेट को ब्रेक करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
जैसे डरो मत, just dive, literally just get out. That's and
the first day you made content.
Exactly, the first day I made content. मुझे कोई ये नहीं थी कि मैं इससे कि मैं इससे this could also be a source of living for. दिमाग में था ही नहीं है. I feel like when you chase things more, it becomes more desperate.
When you made content the first day, what was the thought in your head?
Nothing. I was just frustrated. I was just annoyed.
And you made content.
And मैंने कहा मैं लिख के बस डाल रहा हूँ. And then when people looked at it, they're like, oh, I relate to this.
How many views did you get on your first video the first day? Day one.
First video that I put.
Your first content piece.
First video if I did was like, I think it was Welcome to Karachi. That's what I did. I did pretty well. I think 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh views.
That's a good start, yeah.
It was a good start. That was the first video.
Most people don't have a start that good.
No, ye wali baat hai. I think I got lucky and then I realized that I'm onto something here. I was like, okay. And then...
But you scripted that video. You wrote that entire script.
I actually did not do anything. I just put it down. And that's how sometimes things work out. Kabhi kabar, main bada script likhta hu, bada meticulous.
How long did you think about doing this till the day you did this?
2-3 hours. I just put it down.
You just out of frustration. And that...
And I feel like that the best content that I've made...
is the one that you've not thought about.
Even How to Destroy a Country in 75 Years was 1 hour. It was at work. Work के बाद my work ends at 5 p.m. ठीक है. 3:30, 4 o'clock usually office भाग जाता है. ठीक है. Because like disappear जाए. लोगों का nap time हो जाता है and everything. So I was just on my phone and I was just really angry about something. And it was not specifically at the country, but ऐसा ही कुछ दिन था जहाँ हर चीज़ बुरी जा रही थी. कुछ चल नहीं रहा था. मेरा सुबह में टायर पंचर हो गया था. बिजली चली गई थी. इंटरनेट नहीं चल रहा था. Couldn't send emails and everything. And ऊपर से something was happening in the news.
Right.
And I was like, this country's a shitter, like literally. So I just like literally just put it down, and it was like literally very raw, all of it. Like
so right place, right time, right thought process, and the audience was ripe for that feeling at that moment.
It was. It did really well then, and now it's picked up again right now
because of
what's happening. And people. So that's what I've also noticed. कई दफ़ा sometimes if I and ये मेरे साथ भी कई दफ़ा होता है. If कई दफ़ा मुझे thought बीच रात में आ जाता है. मैं सो रहा हूँ रात के 1-2 बजे. आई लिटरली वेक अप. मैं उठता हूँ, जाके कमोड पे बैठता हूँ, नोट्स सारे बैठ के. I'll probably put the thought down because maybe it might go away in the morning. Because kabhi kabar you have a rush of, and kabhi kabar you're just completely burnt out. Like Ramzan was very hectic this time around because Ramzan was very lots of paid work. So point being, जब end Eid तक आई थी, I was done. मैंने कहा मुझे content बनाना ही नहीं है. मैं थक गया हूँ.
Because you made it about money then.
Of course. And that's what it became.
Because originally it was about expression and then it became commercial. And you got burnt out when it became commercial.
It became too much. It became too commercial. And I think... And
some of the commercial stuff, and just I know I'm sidetracking. Yeah. लेकिन मैंने वो I think Armor Gym
yeah.
मतलब, and this is just an experience here when you're scrolling through such unique original content and suddenly there's this commercial piece from the same creator. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like इसको क्या हो गया?
ये तो big गया है.
इसको क्या हो गया? But point being, वो भी मेरा भी argument.
So why not create that content in your style? कि यार इन हालात में भी अगर आप जिम जाना चाहते हैं तो जिम में पहन के जाइए.
ठीक है. But point being, it's hard. It's hard because कई दफा you have to also, like कई दफा होता है आप एक रश ऑफ इमोशन में आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देखते हो, बड़े अच्छे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देते हैं एंड यू जस्ट साइन इट एंड यू लाइक हाँ मैं करूँगा. ओह इतना बड़ा ब्रांड आ गया. यू जस्ट गेट एक्साइटेड एंड एवरीथिंग. नॉट जस्ट जिम में एनीथिंग. आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग लाइक बट देन comes the difficult part where you have to deal with the client. Asan part is just saying yes to it. You don't know the client. You don't know the client. You don't know if you're on the same page
Wavelength,
creatively or
exactly,
not.
I agree.
So, but point being, everything is a learning process. And like now, like post Ramzan, I'm much more careful, much more selective. I am like, before even signing anything, I was like, Jenny, what are we doing? Like, I was like, okay, let's get on a WhatsApp group. I want to talk to all of you. Let's do a meeting proper. I want to be on the same page. Maybe find a happy medium between us, because कई दफा होता है client full आपको arm twist करता है, और वो it's 90%, 95% them, and there's nothing me in there. And आप कहते हो, you're like, पॉइंट क्या था इसका? एंड आपको अपने आप से भी थोड़ी घिन आने लगती है, अपने आप से भी चिढ़ाने लगती है।
मैं बिक गया यार।
बिल्कुल आती है, बिल्कुल आती है।
लेकिन यार मनी मेक्स एवरीथिंग अ लिटिल
मनी इज इम्पोर्टेंट, ऑफ कोर्स इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट इन दिस इकोनॉमी। मैं तो पैम्पर ही बेचने को तैयार हूँ। anyone's looking, ठीक है, I'm fine with it, but point being, if you let me do it in my way, if you let me do it in my way,
I think that's what I was bringing up, is that the audience needs to feel it's authentic, because they need to know it's in your style.
Absolutely.
And genuinely, the other thing is, I think the best collabs are the ones where the creator is an actual user
absolutely
of the product that they are promoting.
Like I'd say I've done some really good ones where the brand has been great. Like उन्होंने मुझे full, like अभी फूड पैंडा के साथ मैंने पूरी सीरीज करी थी, और it's called Home Chefs of Karachi, where they were like कि we have these, इन्होंने पूरा पहले शॉर्ट लिस्ट किया था कि 3,000 होम शेफ हैं पूरे कराची के अंदर. We want you to go and profile them, and साथ में बस आप इंटीग्रेट कर दो, ये होम शेफ का फीचर भी है. It was great because they gave me full creative freedom. So I literally went, sat down with these people, full उनको interview किया, उनकी life story क्या हुआ, किस तरह उन्होंने शुरू किया, and at the same time I was also allowed to promote them also. So like अगर उनको मेरे platform से उनका business भी बढ़ रहा है, so it was kind of like where we met, हम लोग बिल्कुल एक page पे मिले थे, and the content did really well also. So like win-win for both of us.
Amazing.
So like there was one एक थी family, I think वो अजीज़ाबाद में थे, where I went to interview them, just a husband and wife जो मिलके पूरी business उन्होंने set up करी थी. So that video had like almost 600,000 views on it, and paid work पे.
Wow.
This stuff does not happen.
And to your point कि अगर if you're thinking of an alternate income stream, ये भी home chef and food भी एक alternate income stream
Of course,
है.
and that is what I wanted to highlight, कि कई लोगों को ये भी दिखाना था कि चल हाँ, home chefs are, you can change someone's life by ordering from, but even if there's people out there who are thinking you can do that, and that's what when we spoke on the meeting, we was like, please let me do this in my way, and they trusted me, and that's what happened. I would even like tell this to brands who are even listening, is like, trust the creator. उसको पता है उसकी ऑडियंस कैसी है, मुझे पता है मेरी ऑडियंस कैसी है.
उनको जो डाउट ये होता है, वो ये समझते हैं कि हमारा ब्रांड हमसे बेहतर कोई समझ नहीं सकता.
नहीं, yes,
नहीं, लेकिन और मैं इस पे एक चीज़, मैं उनकी तरफ से मैं ये डेविल्स एडवोकेट प्ले करूँगा. दे मे बी राइट इन मोस्ट केसेस, लेकिन जो क्रिएटर के पास एक चीज़ है, जो उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो क्रिएटर की ऑडियंस है. क्रिएटर्स क्या करते हैं, भूल जाते हैं कि जिस तरह ब्रांड कस्टोडियन ब्रांड मैनेजर है, उस तरह ऑडियंस कस्टोडियन क्रिएटर है.
तो
क्रिएटर को ये इस्टेब्लिश करना चाहिए कि देखो, आप अपना ब्रांड, मैं आपका ब्रांड कभी उस तरह नहीं जानूंगा जिस तरह आप जानते हैं.
ऑफ कोर्स 100%.
लेकिन आप मेरी ऑडियंस उस तरह नहीं जानेंगे जिस तरह मैं जानता हूँ. तो अगर मुझे आपको अपनी ऑडियंस देनी है, आई नीड टू गिव इट टू यू in my way.
100%. and वो आपको नंबर से पता चल जाता है.
वो नंबर से पता चल
आपको साफ सी बात है, नंबर से पता
बल्कि वही मैं कह रहा था, वो जो कमर्शियल ब्रांडेड एक किया था कंटेंट, दैट्स योर लोएस्ट परफॉर्मिंग पीस ऑफ कंटेंट.
आप 6.5 लाख व्यू देखें, आप 20,000 व्यू देखें, जमीन आसमान.
अच्छा, इसमें हमने एक चीज़ क्रिएट की है यहाँ पे एजेंसी पे. मैंने ये कहा है कि अगर हम कंटेंट क्रिएटर को एक ब्रांड लेट्स से इंटीग्रेशन देते हैं, हम क्या करते हैं, हम एवरेज निकालते हैं ऑफ योर लास्ट 10 वीडियोज, व्यूज, लाइक्स, शेयर्स, कमेंट्स. ठीक है, लेट्स से योर एवरेज इज 10,000. I'm just making this up, right? If the content you create for us, as for branded content, is below 10,000, you only get a fixed fee.
Exactly.
You hit 10,000, you get a small bonus. You go above 10,000, by slabs will give you up to double what you are asking for.
That's what it is.
Now do what you want. Here's the brand guidelines.
बताओ फिर, that's where एक sort of एक, जैसे यही मैं कह रहा था, coming down to my burnout point, it was also like एक annoyance थी कि मेरे पास टाइम भी नहीं था टू मेक
Good content.
Good content. नहीं था time because it was literally, it became this race. It became this, which I hated because left, right, center, you would see other creators also doing. They're like, अरे हाँ उसने आज इसको endorse किया. Oh shit, I need to endorse this. I need to say yes to this. But point being, आप कई दफ़ा like end में by the time Eid came, मैंने कहा क्या कर रहा है तू? Like and एक वो वाला point भी आया था कि I started hating it. I started hating.
Yeah, because you just said in the start of it that you got into this out of
Frustration.
Frustration and for yourself.
And for myself, it
For
was
expression.
It was expression, expression, and just catharsis, maybe.
Catharsis. But then you are staying in this because it's a race.
And I don't want it to be a race. I want it to.
So why not run your own race?
That is
compete with yourself?
And that is now, I guess, I've come into it with. I guess you live and learn, and I think this was a very big learning point for me. So now I'm very like selective. हर बंदे को हाँ बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं. Even if the money is good, it's fine. You don't need to do it. आपको और अच्छा काम मिलेगा. If you've established yourself in the space, then people will come to you. You don't have to be like, oh, this is my last option. यही करना है. If it just does not align with your personality and your, what's the point of doing it just for the money? I think that's one thing. And also at the same time, I was like, if I'm not getting time to make my own content, what is the point of this? Because people follow me for Mystapaki. They want to see my thoughts, my work, and I need time to make that.
Right.
So like right now, I made one where like, I think I took a few days off, and then ekdam se just this creativity just comes in your head. And it just came, I think it was like right around Eid it came, but the thought was just flowing. It was not, and I saw that my dadi was wearing gajre haath mein pehni hui thi. I noticed she always wears them. And this one thing where it also kept on going that it, like wo gajra hota hai, saath mein the smell, what it reminds me of. It reminds me of unka room. It reminds me of Sham ki chai. So I made one on flowers in Karachi, but Karachi is not a green city, and how flowers evoke nostalgia. Different flowers. Like bougainvillea reminds me of spring, jasmine ki smell, Sham ki chai. And that did really well. That's like almost like $500,000.
Right.
And that's when I mainly like lesson yahi tha कि it's okay to step away for a bit and come back. It doesn't have to be मुझे हर रोज post करना है.
Yeah.
रोज जरूरी है. नहीं.
I've heard this from a bunch of content creators now. ये जो point है ना कि burnout hit ना करने के लिए you have to step away and promote self-care and preserve yourself.
100%.
And your audience should understand.
100%.
And balki you should just tell the audience, hey, look, I need some downtime.
Yeah.
I'm just going to maybe check out for a few days and be back.
100%. So like I literally just checked out, and when I came back to it,
You were fresh.
I was fresh. It was fresh.
It's like taking a holiday.
It's work.
But not in Marrakesh.
Not in Marrakesh. I wish, like right now, I really need a vacation right now, but yeah.
So for any budding content creator,
Huh.
I know you said just start, don't think about it. But anything else that you
I would say be original. Yes, you can take inspiration from other people, but don't copy. I'm seeing a lot of people जो like copy different creators. Exactly वही template होगा, वही text होगा, like literally वही colors. There is nothing different about you. I want to be able to, अगर मैं आपका content देखूँ, मैं कहूँ ये इसने create किया, ये X, ये Y, Z है. I want to see your own personality, and that does not happen overnight. Like साफ सी बात है, it will take a while. अगर आप मेरा पहला वीडियो देखें, आई थिंक उसकी एडिटिंग बहुत बकवास थी, उसकी टेक्स्ट हर जगह प्लेसमेंट ऊपर, कई जगह आप टेक्स्ट पढ़ भी नहीं पाएंगे. बट पॉइंट बीइंग, जैसे कहते हैं, योर फर्स्ट 10,000 फोटोज आर योर वर्स्ट फोटोज. यू विल गेट बेटर. यू विल गेट बेटर. सो इट्स दैट्स हाउ इट इज. व्हेन यू लुक एट योर ओल्ड वर्क, आप कहते हो यार ये क्या मैंने बनाया था.
I do that with digital.
So,
I'm
yeah,
like, I can't believe I used to do digital. I mean, we never did this in person before.
So, but now, like, you will get better. You will learn.
Very true.
जितना आप करोगे, you will find your niche. You will find your personality. You will find your voice. The easiest thing to do is कि आप किसी और का काम देख लो और छाप दो. It's not fun.
Good feedback.
Yeah.
Dr. Bilal Hassan. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this discussion.
Likewise,
and I honestly wish you all the best. I'm glad to see content that is being created, and I hope कि इस तरह से और लोग पिकअप करें और इस तरह का ऑथेंटिक कंटेंट बनाएं.
Thank you very much.
और अगली दफ़ा जब आप चाय फीचर करेंगे कराची की बेहतरीन चाय में, आप मेरी जो रिकमेंडेशन है वो भी डालिएगा, क्योंकि नंबर 2 पे वही आता है और मैं रिवील नहीं करूँगा अभी.
नहीं हम रिवील नहीं कर रहे.
चले, thank you so much and thank you for tuning into Digitale. Stay tuned. Subscribe below if you like the channel and stay tuned for more episodes. Bye bye.